Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Focusing in on the experience of being in a relationship with a narcissist or a psychopath, and really some of the indicative experiences or feelings that you experience as a result of being involved with them. And especially after the discard, I find that most people at some point in the relationship, either in the beginning, middle, or end, or after the discard, and they're trying to process everything, they have the experience of this person, this narcissist, this psychopath, this disordered individual who I'm having difficulty with, they just don't understand me. And they don't get me. They're not connecting to the positive experiences we had. I want them to get to see the light. I want them to understand how perfect we are together. I really want to work on this. I really want to repair this. I really want to get back together again. We had so much together, and I really want to reestablish that bond and start over again so that they can really understand me this time. I won't make the same mistake. So a lot of this self-reproach, what we call self-reproach, where someone looks inward and starts to get confused and then ascertain that there was something that they did. What can I correct? What can I correct? What could I have done differently so that we would have gotten off to a better start, or stayed in groove, or stayed in sync? So realize this experience of this person, this narcissist, this psychopath doesn't really understand me. They don't know me. And I want them to see me for who I am and all the good that I am, so that they can really see that what I'm contributing and what I'm giving to the relationship. This very feeling is the result of a narcissist or a psychopath having a empathy deficit. Because they don't have empathy, they truly don't have, they have a excessively heightened sense of self-importance, a superiority, a really selfishness, but beyond just healthy, selfishness. They have a pathological, meaning, off the range of normalcy, heightened sense of self-importance. And with this, also with a lack of empathy, meaning that they really truly don't have the ability to recognize, understand, process, see, acknowledge, mirror your needs, your interests, your dreams, your opinions, your values. They're not able to connect to that. They're not able to see it. They're not able to acknowledge it. They're not able to mirror it. Why aren't they able to do this, peace and harmony? Because they have a character disorder. If they are narcissistic, if they are psychopathic, if they're on this spectrum of personality disorder, they lack this empathy, and they have really they have an apathy about it. They have an inactivity. They have a passivity regarding this experience of human life. So they have not really they have not engaged this quality within their personality. So some people are highly empathic, meaning they highly understand where you're coming from. They get where you're coming from. They're with you. They're present. They understand. They can comprehend. They can process this with you. Other people are completely devoid of this, especially when we get into the narcissist, the covert, overt narcissist, as well as into the psychopathy that presents really with a lack of conscience. So it's really a lack of empathy taken to the next level, where they're really, they have complete and utter disregard for your boundaries, your values, your opinions, your experience. And there's a complete devoid of that. And so very much, they'll put on the facade of being there for you, being a companion, a partner, a spouse, etc. They're really not there at all. It's just a physical, objectification in a relationship where they basically relegate you to a piece of furniture or something of that nature. I mean, you're really not as important. You're just as replaceable to them as a pair of socks, a pair of shoes. I mean, it's on the same emotional vibration level with which they refer to people. So it's very, it's a true disorder of personality and character that we see. And so this feeling of I just want them to see where I'm coming from. I think that they would really be pleased with me if they could just see that I can give them what they're looking for. A lot of people get caught up in this bargaining, in this true confusion, and, true trying to process. But, until you realize that, this, in essence, is, a situation where you've become the primary giver in the relationship. You have become the primary substance of the relationship when this occurs. And you tend to then rationalize your support of them. It's because, that you tend to then make excuses for them because they have special qualities or because they have this deficit. I want to give them even more better treatment. I feel sorry for them. I feel sad for them. I feel so bad that, they're this way. They can't see the good in life, and I'm going to make it my duty and obligation for them to, live the good life. And so I'm going to take it upon myself to educate them about how good life can be, and I'm going to give that to them. So you tend to, people in the narcissist relationship, in this bargaining stage, essentially, they tend to get caught up in this dialogue with themselves, and then strive, to meet this this narcissist or this psychopathic with these sort of attitudes and feelings that they, want to assist them. But it's because of this lack of empathy, heightened sense of self. They don't see it, they don't get it. And so when you feel like you're ignored, not attended to, they don't really know you, that is because of this experience. It's generally related in that. Because of that lack of empathy. So that's why they truly do not get you. And realize that, then when you are trying to discard or you're trying to break free, and they hoover you back in, it's basically an example of, when they're trying to suck you back in and get into contact with them. And essentially this is bringing you back into that dependence. So people find this very gratifying when they're like, oh, this person called me back, or they've reconnected with me, and, they've, or sent me something. This in essence is to bring you back into a dependency stage, which is lower. You're then under their control. You're now relegated to being their pawn once again, and in their control, in their power, and in their abuse. So in essence, when you go back to them, you're resigning your power. You're accepting that you would like to remain powerless in this relationship. So then you give up all that you have worked for in terms of any healing work that you've done. So you have to be very careful that this Hoover attempt, when you're trying to go through the bargaining stage with yourself, that you don't enter back into this facade that they want to get in touch with you, they want to be in contact, they want to, it doesn't really work out that way. So when you feel like they really don't get you, it is because of these core deficits. And in essence, this is something that is not going to change within this person, and it's not going to change in the relationship. So as difficult as this might be to accept, comprehend, and then work through, I understand completely, and that's the goal of this channel, not only to educate you, bring you awareness, but also the tools to rectify the situation within yourself and move forward with complete 100% understanding, clarity, and personal empowerment. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.